What's up, everyone? Kind of tricked you a little bit. We're back here on ZeRo Treehouse Live. I'm JC, and to my left, I have some really, really great friends with me, and I will call them friends because they are my friends. I got Jordan Kent here, commentator extraordinaire. I got TK Breezy, right there, and actually to the left of them, I got Leffen, one of the greatest Smash Bros. Players ever played the game, and also ZeRo. He's okay. So what we're going to do here for you is pretty simple. I'm just going to ask Leffen and ZeRo to kind of have fun, play a couple 1v1s. Let's say some of that, we'll do 3 stock 6 minutes. You guys can pretty much pick any level you want. Yeah, go ahead. And what we'll do is, I guess I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about, kind of the players and your guys' experiences with the whole thing. So, Jordan, how did you like everything yesterday? How'd it go?
We had an unbelievable tournament there at the Belasco Theater. You really can't ask for much more than a bracket reset in the grand finals. And I think what impressed me the most was that these professional players really didn't have a whole lot of time with the game. Obviously, not as much as they typically do with the Super Smash Bros. Game. But I think what we really saw displayed was the speed of this game and just all the new features that come with it.
Yeah, man. Hey, TK, did you have fun, buddy?
I had a lot of fun, man. I cannot believe, it's still coming. It feels so surreal to be here, watching them play now, watching them play yesterday. It's like, this is actually happening. It's Smash 5. We're ready to go.
I know, right? And what's interesting is, after I met, and I'll tell a little story here. I met you guys a couple years ago, slowly, when I started getting involved with the Smash Bros. Community. And TK, to you, to Leffen, to ZeRo, to all the players, to all the people that are out there supporting, it means the world to me. My life has changed so much for the better. I've met so many good friends in the community. That whole opening video about family, that is for real. I feel it. I'm there, and anytime I can get a chance to go to a Smash Bros. Tournament, I'm there because I know I'll be treated like family. And for that, I have to thank you for all the things that have happened to me in the past 3 to 4 years and how much you guys have welcomed me with open arms. And again, thank you for everything that you do. And I'm talking to you, TK, for all your support, and you, Leffen, and you too, ZeRo, for everything that you guys contribute to the scene. All that work is incredibly, gratefully appreciated. And I want to take the time that everyone out there knows how much everyone in the Smash community really does it. I mean, these are people with, these are people with daytime jobs, man. They take stuff out on their own weekends. They set that up on their own accord, and they do that for the love of the game. And for that, we're eternally grateful, and we can't, we'll always be here for you guys, and we want to continue to do so. So,
it's a wild journey, man. From the time that we were I started when I was 18, and that was 10 years ago, and it's crazy to see how things have progressed and changed, and now I'm actually here talking to you on the grand
on
stage.
On Nintendo Treehouse Live. You are here. You are present.
I'm here. It's almost like a tear. One single tear is about to come down.
So, kind of bringing it back to the tournament, and kind of, I call it one of our big, my big love letter to you guys, our big love letter to you guys, is, let's talk about what you guys saw in the tournament, certain habits. I mean, I guess we could talk about ZeRo. Who are you, man? I wasn't even paying attention, and they're so focused in. Look at this. I can't even tell who's who right now. Do you know who's who?
Just off experience, I think ZeRo is Ike. He likes Ike, so.
He likes Ike? Yeah, he's kind of one of those Ike fans. I wonder if we're ever going to see ZeRo, right? I wonder if we're going to see him cosplay that, because I would pay to see that.
I would pay to see him cosplay pretty much anyone at this point in time.
Yeah, and ZeRo came across with some really, really good play yesterday, Got any special, what'd you pick out from ZeRo's play, and or any key moments in the tournament you want to talk about, Jordan?
Well, a lot of these guys talk about the neutral game, and I know we have a really dedicated audience in the competitive scene, but this is going to be the first Super Smash Bros. Game for a lot of people that are fans of Nintendo growing up that next generation.
It's true.
And
it's true.
Them getting a chance to learn what really makes these players so good really helps educate them and inspire them to become better players. So you talked about that neutral game where it's both fighters on even plane and either one of them is looking for an advantage to get the first attack. You see from ZeRo that he's able to apply so much pressure, get that first attack in the neutral game, and then that shifts to the follow-up game that we talk about, trying to rack up as much damage with combos as possible. So seeing ZeRo so fluidly transition from neutral game to follow-up game was impressive to watch, because regardless of the character that he was able to have that success.
That's true. We saw that a lot with Mario. I remember watching the Mario thing, and he's just staring at, staying completely out of the other guy's area of influence. And every time he moved back just a little bit, or positioned himself, baited one way and waited, and to see if the other person would react to it. Really good reads, really good stuff. TK, what'd you see yesterday? Any highlights, favorite moments from the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, just to really expound off what he's saying, ZeRo's been that, he's been that player for such a long time. We used to from Smash 4, he was the ledge trap musician. That's what we called him because
I'm sorry, say that again.
The ledge trap musician.
Ledge trap music. Can you make music off of it?
Oh yeah, man. He's trapping, all right?
He's trapping.
So, he keep you over there the entire time.
TK.
Listen, he's keeping you over there the entire time.
I'm just rubbing my eyebrows at this.
But that's what he does. Like he has a very, very solid neutral, and then once he finally gets you in it, to the ledge, it's impossible to get off, and that's why we called it ledge trapping, because of the sole fact that regardless of what item you pick, you were going right back to the ledge, or what option you picked, you're going right back to the ledge.
Gotcha. Oh man. Let's see. So, what are you guys seeing right now? Let's take a look at the gameplay that's going on. What exactly are you guys seeing in the kind of play right now? Because I do know that ZeRo has been very aware of what the character's abilities are, right? But I'm trying to figure out who's who. I've been talking too much. I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah, well, miss every time. I'm pretty sure that the ZeRo is Link this time around. No.
No, there you go. So, Leffen, you're Link. You can nod. There you go, Leffen.
There we go, Leffen. Thanks for helping us out there. We appreciate it. Well, going back to what you're saying about these players, you bring up another term that gets used quite a bit, and that's punish. And to me, that shows a lot of patience and understanding from these players. Their ability to read an attack from their opponent and know when to dodge or when to shield, and then you have those brief frames where you can respond and punish and make them pay for their mistake. It's just this ongoing chess match throughout the entire matchup where these players are reading off of each other, and you're balancing whether or not you're going to be aggressive or defensive, and that's based upon positioning, where the stage is at. And there's so many thoughts and inputs going in through the minds of these players at any given moment. That's what was really impressive during this tournament, is that with all these factors going in, and then TK, you throw in items and smash balls, they're able to still sort of maintain that approach strategically.
Yeah, man. I mean, the gameplay from yesterday, regardless of what setup I saw them playing on, it seems as though they were keeping that same, that punish, that same level of play, the consistent and competitive play, just throughout the entire, week at this point in time. So I have to say, though, one thing I'm very interested to see is how the bombs, how Link's new bombs interact with Villager's pocket. So, you have the pocket, you keep that item for you, but does that mean that Link is now not allowed to pull another bomb because it's already on the stage, but it's not actually on the stage, And it's all like little interesting things like that in Smash is what makes it just so great, And
the one thing I do appreciate is, when the players got their hands on the game for a little bit, and I won't tell you how long they didn't really spend a lot of time with the game. You guys, none of them really spent a lot of time with the game.
Yeah.
But for them to be this proficient at, the core tenets of Smash Bros. Is just absolutely impressive. They're able to deal with all the new things, the short hop attack, and the perfect shielding, how things have changed, the way the characters fly that's different, the speed of the game, the trajectory in which they fly. All of these things are not simple to just kind of grasp, and they got this with a couple of plays. It is really silly and scary.
Yeah. And to your point, I think what really separates them from the more casual players, I think if you're a casual player, you pick up this game, you're using special attacks the whole time. And while they're flashy and they're great, they're going to leave you wide open with a lot of lag before and afterwards, as we say. So you're going to get punished or you leave yourself vulnerable. These players, these professional players, have such a great understanding of, as we said earlier, that neutral game, the jabs, the tilt attacks, as we like to say, where, it's not necessarily a smash attack, it's a little bit more powerful, but you have different directions, and then that aerial game. So when you mention that mechanic as the short hop, TK, it's really beneficial for, say, like a player like myself that's not at their level, but now I can implement a high-level strategy.
Hey, Leffen or ZeRo, I have a request. Can you guys play on, I just want to hear some Zelda music. Can you play some Great Plateau Tower, please? There you go.
I feel that. I like it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, it's a solid stage and a solid game in itself.
And before we start, who's who? Because I'm going to catch it. We're here, right? We're here. We're good. Okay, gotcha. So we're going to have Leffen as player 1, so he's Cloud. And then you have, Mr. Okay at Smash, ZeRo, playing as Marth. Got it. Understood.
Yeah, he's won a tournament here or there,
He's won a tournament. It's funny is what
have you done for me recently?
He won that tournament in 2014, and the only reason why I brought it back is because he freaking won the first one.
Right.
Did you hear that, ZeRo? The only reason why you're back is because you won the first time.
So technically, if there ever is another invitation, you have to bring him back so he can defend his title.
Yeah, well, I guess it's defending side, but technically up for grabs, man. It's kind of like the Stanley Cup or something like that, where it's like nobody owns it at the beginning of the season, and then you compete for it, and then you're cool. But then as soon as the season's over,
Points reset,
temporarily.
okay.
Yeah, everything resets. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh, okay. So something interesting that I just saw right there was him going for the ledge trump into the back air, which is very prominent in Smash 4, you know, getting a ledge trump and then punishing someone off of it. It seemed to be a little harder, but I also think just because, you know, we only have the game for such a short amount of time that we haven't had time to really, like, lab that out. So I think we will see some great, crazy punishes. And another mechanic that you guys have brought up was the new perfect shield. I'm waiting to see that really be, you know, explored, really fleshed out.
I can't wait till someone like new perfect shields to smash.
Yeah.
And then that one mistake is going to cost someone stock.
Yeah.
And that's going to be amazing. And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, we said this before and I said it earlier, but I'll say it again, which is still really key to me, is I really like the fact that when you perfect shield something, you can only punish it with something of an equal frame count.
Yeah.
In other words, so if you're, let's say, you know, AAing or something, or just hitting your neutrals, like standard attacks extending, if you perfect shield one of those, likely you're only going to be able to be punished because of your recovery frames. You'll be able to be punished with another, you know, neutral A.
Right.
Right, and that window, as you said, is going to depend on how powerful the attack is. And so, you know, one thing TK and I were talking about as we were prepping for the Invitational was we use this term risk-reward all the time, and that's what these players balance is with their aggressiveness. You know, how aggressive am I going to be? I can really, you know, try to go for the big KO smash attack, but if I miss, it leaves myself wide open. I'm going to take into account how much health I have, maybe the abilities of the other player, and so with that perfect shield, defensively now you have to think about a risk-reward where do I try that perfect shield or do I just play it safe and hold my shield?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be 3 different options you're going to take right there. It's either you're going to take that standard shield stun from taking the attack, say Bowser's going to F-smash your shield or whatever. You're going to try to parry it and get your own hard punish, or you're going to miss the parry and just maybe lose that stock.
That's true. And I can't, you know, it's interesting because every time a game comes out, and this one obviously is still mostly, of course it's in development, right? Game's not out. And the more people play, the more the community plays, the more people play, you know, that the way that people think about the game starts to change, right? And that's what, you know, I'm just describing basically the meta. We're not there, the meta is, but that's what it is. And it's just interesting to see how characters are like, oh man, this character's really good. And then like, wait a couple months and like, nah, it's not that good, right? And it's always a constant evolving discussion. That's why I love, you know, the way that competitive games work this way, is because that you can have that discussion and the metagame can change over time. So very exciting stuff.
Wow, okay, so
he just decided to go for it.
He was going crazy out there with that Dolphin Slash all the way at the side. He already knew it was over though. Cloud still notoriously not a great recoverer.
And I will say this, and I'm going to put this out there for both Leffen and for ZeRo. I will say this, and I'm not kidding. I've actually never gotten a chance to play you guys, and if you want to see what an okay player like myself, and I mean, I'm no slouch, but I'm more than happy to play against either one of you guys, so I can tell you what I'm thinking, and you can
sticks right now.
I'm ready to get embarrassed.
I like this. We're in rotation now.
I'm going to be player 1, and I am ready to get super embarrassed, but I do have my preset.
Now, ZeRo, think about if you want to come back to another Invitational, how you want to play JC right now.
No, don't do that. Oh, who should I pick? How about this? TK.
Are you? You're going to go Cloud? Oh, no.
TK, how about this? TK, Jordan, who should I be?
All right, he's going Mario. You know, how was your Cloud?
How's my Cloud?
Let me see your Inkling.
My Inkling?
I want to see your Inkling.
This is going to be... All right, out here.
Well, who do you typically main?
Yeah.
Me? Oh, see, this is interesting. I actually main King DD.
Okay.
So I like heavy characters. That's just my thing.
Then go with the heavy character.
Yeah, there's a DK right there. You know, Ike.
Right. Or how about
you know what?
we have the updated Ganondorf.
Here we go.
A few changes.
How about that?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know.
I was
like that.
Ridley's here, you know.
Right. Gosh, guys, my palms are so sweaty right now. We haven't even played yet. Okay. I'm scooting up off my seat.
Yeah, and this is the Ganondorf that's really gone on a diet and has been working out because he's a little bit more cut up in this edition here, TK, from
Guys, my heart is beating out of my chest right now. I'm so sorry.
He's got that going, but also, you know, the new Smash attacks, I'm really loving that too, man. He's actually brought the sword out. He's ready to play. It used to just be a taunt, and now he's like, you know what? I'll use it this time.
Well, also, there's the difference in the armor with some of his special moves that we saw earlier as well too. Typically they're long, they've got a really long load time, but now he's got a little bit more super armor, especially when he goes with a lot of the special moves, so that gives him a chance. But right now, well, we see why ZeRo is one of the best in the world.
All right, man. I mean, they call him the king of evil right now, but it seems like, you know, Cloud is the truth and the justice or something going on.
Hey, my first hit on the second stock. I'm pretty proud of that.
There we go, JC.
I mean, now, JC, I do I do see that you're trying to use that up tilt a lot, and it is faster.
Oh,
but,
good.
Oh, no.
And you're running into the same thing I ran into when I played against some of these guys in free-for-all. It feels like as soon as you get knocked off the stage here at TK, you have no hope of getting back because these guys are so good with edge guarding.
Yeah, edge guarding, you know, even if you manage to get back, you still have to find a way to get back on the stage. Here you go, JC,
Hey,
you know,
JC,
getting
R
back
is block.
in.
You can block with R.
I don't really know what to do here. Let me, all right, so let me tell you what's going on in my head right now. Okay, so every time I'm trying to at least, my options, for example, when I get knocked off stage, I'm thinking, okay, side B, up B, whatever, right? But usually I try to burn that jump way too early, and you know that I'm burning the jump too early, so I'm way too easy to read. Is that right? But I'm curious also to what you guys are saying. You can whisper that to TK, and we could talk about it in a second. So this will be interesting. So while he's talking to TK,
Sure.
this is going to be totally gift.
Yeah, most likely.
This is going to be in a movie like, man, you can't, but put it this way, I'm not that bad, I swear.
No,
but these
you're
guys
very
are
good.
just, well, they're the best players in the world.
Yeah,
I'm not going to, let's.
Do you want his notes?
I would love his notes.
Okay.
Please tell me, because
All right,
I would
let me
love
open
to
the
just
notebook
chance to
real
learn.
quick.
Yes,
So
I
he
would love
says that you got to block more neutral, which you are not blocking, which, yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, the triggers, they do work. Also, he says that every time you get hit in the air, you jump. So because he knows you're going to jump, he's actually jumping preemptively to catch you after you jump. Therefore, now you're stuck in the air with just options of air dodging or trying to come down with attack. And again, it doesn't have the greatest landing option. So,
to. Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, let me
Here we
try
go.
applying some of that.
There you go.
Which is not going to be very good, but I will try on one shot. Of course, practice makes perfect, but I'm not practicing against ZeRo every day or Leffen or you guys. So let me try this again.
Oh, he's going with the JC now.
Okay.
I think I went with the JC before. Like, I should just rename it to J Free. Then it would be accurate.
So you're picking the Mario. So you like Mario?
I like Mario
is
just
a-
as a
okay.
basic character.
Yeah.
I kind of just, I'm very moody when I pick characters. I just pick whoever.
And Mario's a, you know, he's been that standard basic character, the all-arounder for so long. So, you know, nothing really changes for him. He's still doing the same things.
And a lot of people say if you're really trying to learn the fundamentals of this game, what character would I start with? Everyone says start with Mario. Because if you can understand the basics, the fundamentals of this game, develop those skills, then you can start to expand some of the other characters where they might have some more unique attributes that, you know, still apply the same fundamentals, but maybe the timing, the execution of them is a little bit different.
I see JC's actually using that new directional air dodge. He's, you know, actually mixing up his positioning on landing now by being able to air dodge toward or away from ZeRo, depending on the situation. So that's pretty good.
What's amazing is when you look at someone like ZeRo's caliber here, TK, they can influence what you do. They like to set you up because they already know your 3 or 4 options outside of a possible move to get out of a situation, and they've got all those countered for the most part. So it takes a lot of skill and timing to be able to punish and defend against some of the things they do, but typically they're not going to throw anything out there too risky.
Yeah, you can kind of see the way that, even though it looks like ZeRo's actually being really aggressive, which he kind of is, the way that he's spacing out his aerials and things like that are, and his F-tilts are to catch JC if he decides to walk in or if he decides to drop shield because he thinks he has a punish. I mean, it's just so smart. It's just so smart.
And you see a lot of the short hopping from ZeRo, and that's a skill that these pros have really nailed down. Because they're able to do that short hop. It doesn't leave them too vulnerable, but at the same time, they're able to at least get an attack out there that protects them from getting attacked. And really using that down tilt effectively against Mario, the tip of Marth's sword is doing a great job of spacing him out.
Yeah, man, that's the new. Oh, okay, a nice parry right there
shield.
from or perfect, yeah, shield from JC, and he actually got a lot of time off that because it was a down tilt.
Oh, no, that's not going to be good.
Oh boy.
Oh, he's setting you up.
Oh, this is going to be great. So good.
Oh, how are you going to do that to the mascot?
So, anybody else want to play?
I'm going to let
Oh, yeah, I'll let Leffen take the
you know,
controller
let's get
back.
Leffen back
So
in
this
there.
goes to show you how deep I'm thinking. I've been playing this thing for months, and I haven't, like, I don't understand the game definitely as well as these guys do. But, man, I hope you guys like that out there.
No, I mean, the Smash community is definitely known for being, you know, they like to lab things out as quick as possible. People are looking at the trailer and coming up with like, all right,
Why?
he's probably better because this, I just saw this, so that means this is out. And I'm like, all right, guys, I mean, you saw like 3 seconds of each character. Like,
True.
How do you get that much information off of 3 seconds of each character?
I don't know.
I mean, I do like the fact that they're that dedicated, you know? There's going to be full videos out the analysis of the characters that they saw for the quick 3 seconds that they saw them.
Dude, that's so good, man. Again, if any of you guys get a chance out there to play these guys, again, newfound levels of respect. I'm telling you, man, it's great. And I learned so much from them, you know, and the kind of love and attention that they put into the game. And, you know, it's great. And also in losing, and I also do like this, I love to lose. I really do. Okay. Because I actually learned a lot, and I actually recognized myself like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Blocking does do that. And as long as I can put it into practice, that makes me better. And that's kind of why I like a lot of competitive games, because it's not just some, you know, random level number like that makes you better if you just grind all the time, but you actually have to put things that you learn into practice and apply it properly.
Yeah.
Knowing isn't enough.
That's actually the best way of taking a loss. You know, you can't be mad about it. You have to just, why did I lose, and what can I do to not lose the next time?
That's true, man. Yeah. I hold my L's. I hold my L's and I hold them well. And I smile and say, give me more, please. So yeah, next time you see me register at a tournament, it'll be J-free. Okay? I'll make sure I register from now on at tournaments. It'll be just J-free.
I will make sure you get on stream for that. I want to see all your matches.
Hey man, over time, I plan to be better at this game. I plan to be real good at this game at some point.
Okay, so man. One thing interesting about the new Pokemon trainer, which is, you know, obviously just Pokemon trainer from the Brawl iteration of it, is you're now, differences from Brawl, you're now allowed to switch from the air, which is great. So that, you know, Ivysaur had a really easily stuffed recovery, but Charizard has 2 jumps. So now if you hit Ivysaur off and you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make this recovery, just swap out the Charizard, make it back to stage.
What's great really cool. Too is we talked about the air dodge mechanics. A lot of these players found out if you air dodge once, you really don't have much time to do anything else in the air. The lag is so long. But with Pokemon Trainer, when you switch Pokemon out, you're invulnerable for that moment. Then you have time to air dodge as well too. So it does give you a second air dodge option. And just those little wrinkles, as we said before, that's unique to every single character, you get a chance to discover. And as you build upon those fundamentals, it works out. But another thing that was unique too is we saw them go with Squirtle to really match the speed of Sheik and rack up damage. But once Sheik got to about 100%, you saw the switch to Ivysaur, who has some more KO options, however, lacks that recovery. And so it's kind of that, as we say as always, risk reward and reading the situation with your opponent. Yeah,
it's kind of like a stance switch, if you will, you know, with Squirtle being small, quick, being able to add up a lot of early game damage. And he does have some decent KO options, but not as many KO options as Ivysaur and Charizard. So you're going to want to, if you're going to play the entire character, I know some people already like, I'm a Squirtle main. Like, I'm not playing anybody else.
You can just main Squirtle.
But if you do decide to play the entire character, I expect to see a lot of Squirtle start and then Ivysaur and Charizard finishes.
Dude, that'd be really cool, man. And that's, again, seeing new things and seeing how things are going to change in the coming months. And, you know, even when the game comes out in December, very curious to see how people kind of apply these new things that they start to learn about the game to, you know, to affect the way they play, even affect their character choices. I'd love to see people that don't normally like that play a certain character, that like a certain thing, to just find another character they love, and they can be like, hey, I like this a lot, and just start playing different characters. So
that was really nice.
That was tasty.
That was really nice. Okay. Yeah, he knew he was going to jump up. And again, that was another situation where he realized that someone was jumping a lot. So he preemptively used the vanish, kind of jumped up there with him and caught the jump. That was very nice.
Oh, man. So look, where do you guys want to go? Where you guys going?
They're about to play like a competitive set, man. We're going to see like Frigate, Lilat.
So right now, we actually have another cool note I just realized is in this particular setting, stage hazards are off.
Right.
And that will be something that you can toggle in the full game. But for this one, in this particular set, we just have them all off.
Yeah.
So you will see, I think you'll have a lot of stages that, you know, that weren't competitive before because of random things that happen in the stage. Or, you know, this stage used to turn upside down. You won't see that this time. So I really hope that, you know, a bunch of people try to explore the stages that weren't, quote, competitive or fair from before, actually try and be, you know, see viable.
Yeah, that's going to be that's a dream, to be honest, because we know we've been playing on 5 stages or 5 or 6 in Smash 4, and I mean you go all the way back to 64, they play on 1 stage. So yeah, it's nice to be able to get that that diversity now.
Absolutely, and you know that also riffbacks on one of the announcements too, which would have to do with you know, that every stage can be a battlefield. Every stage can have battlefield forms. Every stage can have, you know, Final Destination forms. So which is going to be pretty huge. So yeah, you're probably going to get like, you know, 10 times the amount of stages you were able to play, technically.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan? You hyped for anything?
You know, I'm hyped for the Inkling character. Obviously, Splatoon 2 near and dear to my heart, and that Ink property that we talked about, where if you put ink on the opponent, they're going to take more damage from the next shot, and then you got to manage your ink tank. I want to see that done at a high level and see how that affects, because we know how well these players can rack up damage against each other. But you add in a principle like that, just one of those new features, maybe we see somebody main the Inkling that normally would go with a different character.
Yeah.
Yeah, my initial, like, when I was playing with Inkling, you know, I think it is a little bit like a medium difficulty character, just because of the way the ink tank, you have to kind of keep that in mind. Like, when someone's messing around with the ink tank, you have to be constantly inking the other person to maximize the damage you get, right? If you don't ink them, there's two things that happen. One, it's going to force you to run back and be like, well, I can't use half my moves because they're going to be either really, like, the power is going to be much lower, or they just won't come out at all. So let's just say that you're standing and you press the A button rapidly for that rapid attack, right? If you run the ink in the middle of that, you just stop shooting. There's no hitbox. You just walk around and be like, oh, okay, thanks. Free throw, free punish, whatever. So it'll be a lot of running, like inking, running in, and then running out to make sure that you have that time where actually you knock someone off the stage to go back and refill and then engage again.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that. You know, that stock a second ago, I'm pretty sure Leffen is Inkling. He had no ink. You know, he couldn't do anything. But the fact that ZeRo was staying right on top of him, you know, he couldn't even get a chance to really recharge the thing. And that's just something you're gonna have to look out for when you're playing Inkling. You're gonna keep you have to keep an eye on your meter, but also keep an eye on the times that you're allowed to recharge it.
Like right now, you can kind of see it where, you know, Inkling's gauge, or I'm sorry, who's that again?
Ink tank.
Yeah, ink tank. I said meter.
Ink tank.
Yeah,
I know. I was
my
like,
bad.
Yeah, meter
ink
tank.
tank. I was like, ink tank technically. And who's playing Inkling again? Pretty sure that's
It's Leffen.
Is that Leffen? Yeah. So, you know, having said that, it's, you know, if you are playing an Inkling, oh, jeez. If you are playing an Inkling, you do want to keep pressuring. You see that the meter, ink tank is low. See, I'm trying here. If you see that's low, you pressure them so they can't actually refill that tank again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Leffen's doing a pretty good job keeping his ink tank pretty high, though.
When you see opportunities like that, when you knock your opponent off the
Oh.
stage, you have that quick second to recharge it by using the shield and obviously hitting the B button at the same time. But it will be interesting to see how people develop the best strategies with Inkling here. And, you know, you see some attacks like the roller, which has a really long startup time, but is so good at planting them into the ground. And it's going to take some time, but obviously as more people get their hands on this game, we're going to see those great strategies.
And here's ZeRo just like giggling about how happy he is with all this. Okay, well, you know what? We are actually out of time for today. Gosh, it's been so much fun. It's been an honor. So thank you, Jordan. Thank you, TK. Huge ups to Leff over there. And also, of course, to ZeRo for joining us and showing us a lot more super high-level gameplay. And again, thank you for just bodying me repeatedly. So hope you guys enjoyed that. You know what? That is it for today. And before we go, I just want to say that you know, to everyone out there that's been watching us and supporting Nintendo Treehouse Live and sticking around for the show, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. So stick around. We'll have tons of stuff tomorrow, lots more deep dive games, and you know, more things that we all love. So hope to see you tomorrow. That's it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.